Real talk. Do you plug your monitor into your graphics card or into your motherboard? What's up, everybody? It's Don with the Don Tech, and today we're going to be looking through the graphics card that we're going to be putting into this new build. One of the most exciting topics, one of the most exciting parts of any computer is the graphics card. And you love to see it. You love looking at the opportunities. You love to see what's out there. And, let's just go ahead and see what we got. The top highest one, out of stock, $2,000 to $3,000. Guys, what is happening with graphics cards? This is an absolute pitiful state of graphics cards. And I'm coming from a spot where I've got a wonderful 1080 Ti graphics card that has served me so well since this build in 2016. It was very affordable, like $750 for the top end card. Where are we at now? How is this even remotely acceptable in this field? I just, that's not what this video is about, though. I don't want to turn it into a sad video. We're going to find a graphics card that will fit in the build. We'll just kind of go from there. The main graphics cards would be Nvidia and AMD Radeon. Intel tries to get in there a little bit, but we're not really going to be looking at that. I don't know enough about them to say, oh, this is good or not. But I do know that any graphics card needs to have a lot of RAM, a lot of video RAM, just a lot. Just put RAM in the system. Should not be 2025, and we've got 10 gig cards, because I had an 11 gig card in 2016. So what are we doing here? So for the components and storage, we go to the GPU and graphics cards, and we just kind of sort and see what's there. You've got a couple of different lines. I'm very familiar with the Nvidia-based cards, so that's what we're going to be talking about. I don't know much about the Radeon series, so we're just going to stick with sold by Newegg because you don't want to support the scalpers. And with Nvidia, you have the anywhere from the 10 series, right? 10, 20, 30, 40, and now the 50 series. The higher the number of the card, the better it would be. So you have like 4050, which is the lowest, 4090, which is the highest. Likewise with the 50 series, which is not all out yet right now, the 5090 being the highest, and then the 5070, I think is what they're doing at the lowest, maybe the 5060 being the lowest. So right here, we just see that there's a couple out there, the 4060 sort of cards. And when it comes to graphics cards, it is going to be an expensive piece and probably one of the most expensive parts of your entire build because it's going to be controlling most of what people want to do, which is going to be gaming. And for me, it's going to be gaming, recording, streaming, editing, sometimes all of those at once. So my card has to be beefy enough, but also can't break the bank, can't be the same price as the rest of the components, and also can't create so much heat that the entire system is just brought to its knees because it's just overheating the entire case. So keeping all that in mind, when we look through cases and look through these parts, I used to recommend EVGA and Asus for the particular graphics cards. Those are the best. Well, EVGA decided to say, nope, NVIDIA, we're out. We don't like dealing with this, so we're done making cards. Okay, so now it's just pretty much Asus. I don't think you'd have any real problems going with Gigabyte or MSI, but I would go Gigabyte and then MSI and then anybody else. It's just kind of one of those things that if you're at a point where you can't get anything, then something's better than nothing. But for this video, we're just going to search Asus, MSI, and Gigabyte, and that will be getting us the NVIDIA side of things. We're just going to go for the 50, 40, and 30 series. And that gives us 9 pages. Wow. Oh, hold on. I could probably get rid of that by doing condition new. 3 pages of graphics cards. And if we just do highest price, the highest one that's available, that's not available, that's out of stock. So most expensive, Asus 5090. Let's go down, view details, but they're all out of stock, out of stock, out of stock. Boy, what graphics card are we going to pick today? Well, thankfully for me, I actually was able to get my hands on an absolutely free 3080 graphics card that I'm currently using in my build. I upgraded it about a year ago or so, and it's been a nice card. So I'm going to use that card again because I don't have a desire to go out and spend, $1,000-something on a card or really try to wait and hopefully get one. They don't even have prices on this 5070. Like we're on page 2, and all of this is still just out of stock. You're talking 5070 being $550. That's okay of a price, but only 12 gigs of RAM. And then the Ti being $250 more, well, surely it can't be worth that much more for performance. And then when you get down to the comparison sake of, okay, well, this one is equivalent to the previous generation's 4080 series, I'm not really into any of that as well. I don't even know what this video is going to have a purpose in, honestly. I don't know what any of my videos have a purpose in. But there's just all these are just like out of stock. So this video is kind of really funny to make because everything is just out of stock because Nvidia just released the 50 series. The 40 series isn't made anymore. The 50 series isn't available anymore. So for the entire video, Boom. What we've got here is we're going to go to the video card, choose a video card. We have the Asus 3080. It was Strix Gaming. It was not a TI. It looked kind of like that, but it wasn't 12 gigs. It was only 10 gigs. Let's say something like this. It was 10 gigs. It wasn't Tough Gaming. It was Strix Gaming. Was it V2? I don't even know. I don't even know what it was. Doesn't really matter. But we're just going to go ahead and just add that one right there. So we know the power requirements. We know kind of everything that we're going for. But that's the one that I already have. There's no prices available because there's not going to be prices available on anything because everything is out of stock. But this 3080, the 10 gigs is really disgusting that the 3080 actually has less gigs of RAM than my 1080 Ti, but it does have a lot of the other RTX features that make it a better card and a lot of things that will allow it to use AI and do all these other fancy little things. It does have better memory bandwidth and everything, but really, just like with your other system, I want to have 96 gigs of RAM in this thing. I'd prefer to have a card that would have at least 24 gigs of VRAM. I feel like that would be a great sweet spot, but until I'm gifted a 50 series card for free, I don't plan on upgrading this thing for the life of this computer. These graphics cards are far too expensive. I'm not going to spend more money on a graphics card than I did my first car. That's my own personal rule, I guess. That kind of solidifies it for the graphics card. If you have any questions about graphics cards, leave them in the comments down below. If you know the AMD cards, maybe those will be the ones to go to. That's probably the most depressing video on my channel. The next video in this series, which might be the final video, I'm not sure yet, is going to be talking about the power supply. We know exactly how much wattage we have right now, and we know the power supply that we're going to probably be searching for. So in the next video will be power supply. Subscribe to get notified when that comes out. Give this video a like if you found it helpful, and we'll just kind of go from there. So thank you so much for watching. This has been the Don with the Don Tech. And remember, the Don's got no graphics cards, but he's got your back.